हेलो हेलो हेलो
बीटी देरी AMG विप हुड में मारू गेड़ी मेरी चलती है गाड़ी में वो मेरा शोको लेरी ओ दिखती सेम टू सेम कैटी पेरी लिखता हूँ मैं ऐसा ये लोग करना मांगते रिलेट तू और तेरा होमी तुम दोनों का है विकेट एक महादी में को बस हो गई नखों में को बीचेस एक हाथ में रोलेक्स से दूसरे हाथ में पटे फ्लिप करता मनी भाई ब्लैक मनी सफेद हेटर लोग का फायदा नहीं झड़ता नहीं कमेंट गान जलती लोगों की
हेलो हेलो
मैंने बिठा दिया मार्केट सीधा अलादीन का कार पे मैं गाली सुनते माँ पे से देते इधर छापटे अपने बच्चे लोग सब फास्ट है एक जॉइंट है पन लास्ट है अपने हक क्या देख ब्लास्ट है ये जनरेशन लॉस्ट है मटन का शॉप है खरजुल्ला ऑप है फिर क्यों ना गांडे जले
Fuck what they say और क्या है विषय I'm on my way to fuck this game Fuck what they say और क्या है विषय I'm on my way to fuck this game
गुनेगारी क्षेत्र
You already know what it is This is your Rocco baby बातों की चोट नहीं खींचेंगे चापड़ क्योंकि बेटा हम तेरे जैसे नहीं यहाँ कोई वोट नहीं मेरा है शासन दूंगा घाव चोटों की वैसे नहीं जो स्कूलों के छोड़ के बस्ते चलाते थे घर क्योंकि घर पे थे पैसे नहीं वही भाई गुच्ची पहने के काट रहा हूँ और मुझसे लेता गुच्ची के पैसे नहीं Woo! ये सब की है win I'm not alone committing sins standing के पूरी से कांच का कारपेट bitch I'm alone walking in YouTube के रैपर ने जिस दिन किया मुझे खाली बैठे यूं ही बेवजह डिस उसी दिन घुसा बैठा राजा under 30 Asians folks की list I don't mean to disrespect but my friends the gap is big I don't want to diss anyone cause my friend the stack is thick The story is not about who's worst or who's best in it It's all about rags and rich It's all about food and splits कभी बारी बंदा नहीं बोलता देखे जमाना जो बोलता काम कभी बारी बंदा नहीं चिढ़ता सबसे रखता दुआ सलाम मेरा ज़मीर नहीं कहता बातों की बेल्ट से खींच दू खाल पर स्टैनी इन सब की माँ
तुम स्टाइल मेरा ढापा देखो चौक में दिया तलाफा भूलना चाहता लेकिन नहीं पाता बजा तू ढोल में बजाता ताशा नाशिक ढोलवर आईज होतो मी रोडवर वाई घाल मी घालतो चोकर चौक में धिंगाणा टाकतो गोंधळ भाऊला फोन कर कोण स्पॉन्सर हो गए थे झगड़े हो गया कॉम पर मार के क्वार्टर हुड की शॉर्टर चल रहा ऑफर हिप हॉप प्रॉपर एल्बम ड्रॉप कर गाना पॉज कर तेरे पास एयरफोर्स मेरे पास पूरी फोर्स ड्रिप ऑन अ वॉक डिस करता मेरे को बाप को तू भूल गया मतलब तू भाई जो तेरे आके बाप गिना निकले पर मेरे सुनता यंग तक पर तू सुनता जस्टिन बीबर 808 ऐसे दाला फट गए इनके स्पीकर प्यार अगर करता तो फिर सबके सामने केस कर फेम नहीं मिल रहा बोले स्टैंड को मम्मा डिस कर तो खुद को मालूम क्या विषय क्या नहीं कंपनी ऑन कैंग मॉफकर्स
This could be the day I die for you When the sky
आज कांग एक्शन देखेंगे भाई I can't wait to see my goat play I want
No matter the circumstance, I'm always going to enjoy the moment.
I want to see Kang but I don't want China to win if that makes sense
这一刻我已经梦想了很久了，这一次我会让这个梦圆满的结束。
Anytime you crack a butterfly, I flip a switch, keep a secret, let you come inside. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when
मैं
I
गेम
land
कब
it.
चालू होगा?
If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, me. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, me. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, me. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me. Anytime you clock a butterfly, you flip a switch, keep a secret, let me come inside. When you run the gamut, but you could never plan it. You keep on breathing when you land it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me. 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 Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me.
मैं पैसा तो खर्च किया.
I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. No, you not my homie. I ain't got no friends. I'ma do my own thing.
I think it's pre-recorded.
I'ma break in the back of the room with a hammer, ain't taking a loss. This ain't no problem to lead it. I'm running it up and I'm taking it off. It's deserved. You wanna be up on my team, then show me that you earned it. I'ma empty out this clip and show 'em how to burn it. I can see right through that boy, I know when I'm observing. Yeah, run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time.
No distractions. It's you and me.
Yeah, I'ma maintain number one. I don't never gotta say too much. Shawty be thinking I'm green. Don't get me turned up. Watch out. Me and gang gon' be on yo. If it's a challenge, then we miss. I'm on the scene and I build my team and I build my game. I know they wantin' this life. I'm a winner, I'm never top 5. Ain't no switching, I'm here with the guys and they never lie. It might be a challenge, but that's what united us. Ain't nothing too late, cause that's what ignited us. It's feel like Gina and Pam. Salt and pepper, we take out your man.
Enemies forever. We can take it all to our grave.
Kang.
Enemies forever. You wanna take me down and take my place. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run.
सहारे की
I
बैठा.
love it when you hide. I've been looking for you long.
tick boom 문을 차가워져 이건 deja vu 이미 와본 것과 내 성공을 전부 담긴 그리 시작아 Can't lose 점수 그거는 연애 숫자 내 열의 top 10 고는 식당 그걸로 채운 너 잔전 부대스탁 상식주의 red dot 경고는 없어 better not 사방에 다 부리지 마치 red hot
Broken numbers, what's left to lose? Here on the edge of our life, I'll never fight. I'll say goodbye, fight until the final hour. Pain is my superpower. Keep my head up high, run through rain or shine. Cannot sleep without this hour. Pain is my superpower. हमारी सिर्फ हमारे द्वार tough guy तो
फ्लोर पे भी लगा है क्या?
이제는 시신이 gunfight I brought a blade 이별까지 shade 내 주세워 맛보게 fade 끝이 보여 네 band-aid 끝없는 내 rampage 이게 나니까 절대 can't change 내겐 없어 plan B 오직 plan A 바꿔 pain of a champion into champagne Broken embers, what's left to lose? Here on the edge of our life. If I never live, I'll never fight. When I say goodbye, fight until the final hour. Pain is my superpower. Keep my head up high. Run through rain or shine. Can't last me without the sour. Pain is my superpower.
챔피언스 서울 그랜드 파이널에 오신 여러분 환영합니다. 이 트로피를 향한 여정의 끝, 그 정상에서 만날 두 팀을 소개하겠습니다. 중국 발로란트 자존심, 대륙의 꿈, 에드원 게이밍!
Let's go.
치추!
इसका नाम बूब जैसा क्यों है? Gang gang, let's go. My goat. Come on. Simon है क्या?
고난과 역경, 가시밭길을 헤치고 올라온 유럽의 희망, 팀 헤네트!
Veggie fish. Veggie fish भाई. Mini boo. Mini boo नहीं खेल पाते. भाई मेरा आवाज आ रहेगा स्क्रीन पे.
Coach, needed you!
Come on, boy, it will be fun. So I want to see what maps are there guys gonna ban. Guys, that the championship match होगा. I can see both the dancing. सब लोग आए बे. Water भी दिख रही है. Oh my god. Hey, look at the
What
fucking
an
audience.
electric
एक
opening
seat खाली
ceremony,
नहीं है
the
भाई.
perfect way to kick off the grand finals here in
It's okay,
Seoul.
I
I
want
mean, you
my-
guys, what do we
I
make of that? That was
want TV hours
crazy.
from
And an incredible performance from everyone who went up there, and for these players, what a moment
एक
for
seat
them
खाली
to get
नहीं
to
है भाई.
walk out in front of this crowd.
This thing's only happened once in your life. Well, maybe it happens a couple, but definitely this is the first. Being so young, so talented, putting
How are
so
you,
much
Brenda?
effort into something, and seeing all of these people rooting for you.
And look at this,
and-
EDG, they have the double ban. They took away Ascend and Icebox.
It's nothing too shocking. The Ascent was kind of a given that they've just been banning that in general. But as you guys are
Oh my
talking about,
God.
Heretics will be
So
perfectly
we'll have
fine with
Heaven,
that. And
come on.
overall, probably aren't
क्या
that
बोलते
hindered
हैं,
at all
Kang Kang
by
I
this
guess
round.
will play,
Like we were talking about,
Jet
there's not
or
that
Neon?
many pain points to really
He'll play
target
Neon,
with these
okay.
bans.
I think the biggest thing is the crossover in this pool. Team Heretics is great on Sunset. We've seen EDG's
so-
competencies on that map
Okay.
as well. EDG choose into a Lotus that Team Heretics have also favored
So,
here, even beating
bind
Fnatic
by bind
earlier
to
in this
maybe we can
tournament
see
on that
Kang
map.
Kang
That double
Jet.
ban advantage, I
Oh
don't
my
think
God,
is
I
actually
can't
huge
wait.
considering how
Bhai,
deep Team
I'm so
Heretics map
excited.
pool is.
Yeah, but it will be amazing to finish up, to close up today in that abyss, in that map 5, if we ever make it there. But thinking of Haven, of that first map, we saw the other day what Heretics did. They brought in an entire new composition, and we just cannot do nothing else but wonder, are they going to do it again?
Oh.
I will have to just wait and see. I don't think there's going to be too many pivots here as far as comps are considered. But as you mentioned, that Abyss, the perfect cap on this series. We may not have split, but Abyss has taken its place. And so far, it pretty much has only delivered bangers. If this one goes the distance, that Abyss is going to be absolutely insane to watch.
And listen to the fans in this arena. They are so ready for this best of 5 and hearing a lot of let's go Heretics.
Yeah, they are loving that team. But EDG, I mean, their fans are rolling deep here as well. It's such a crazy moment to have these 10 players on that stage. For 6 of them, this is their first ever champions. 5 players on this stage. This is their first year playing at Tier 1 in Valorant. And how they're here on the biggest stage the game has to offer.
And everything feels different about this final. The one time that they played against each other earlier in the year, EDG was only able to get 9 rounds total. Then they can exceed that in just the first map.
The difference is back then, EDG was playing
इसके
for
बाद मेरे
Kang
से
Kang.
ये
They were
confident
looking to empower him, to have him continue to be that superstar. But now it's Kang Kang playing for the team, playing with alongside EDG, being assisted by the likes of Simon, who comes in as the perfect pairing to set up everybody to shine.
And map 1, we're going to see that on full display. We start on Haven. That's where we've seen EDG playing this Neon Breach composition, which is all about Kang Kang and Simon's coordination, and what Kang Kang can provide in getting these opening kills, in claiming space early in the rounds for his team. Him and his opponent duelist on the other side, Miniboo, are the 2 duelist players at this event who, when you watch them, they are taking the most opportunities for opening duels. I think in a lot of ways that matchup will define this series.
Yeah, and the other side of this as well, we've seen Boo and Miniboo playing on the same side together over and over again, taking advantage of that synergy, and look at the comp changes.
Oh, there's a lot of comp changes, but it's definitely some inspiration. Mirror matchup for our first map. Another change coming in from the side of Heretics. We understood that the other composition was everything about getting that plant down, but if you want to play the distance, if you want to play to the best of your abilities, this is the best composition you can play.
This is not a new comp for Team Heretics. They were playing this in EMEA and they looked great with it. Miniboo, I think his best agent is that Neon. He has been on it all year long. But the biggest thing here is that EDG's prep will have been wasted. They will have been looking out for that Sage comp, figuring out how to play against it, and Team Heretics have thrown a huge curveball here to start the finals.
I completely disagree. I think that they thought that was a one-time thing. It didn't work. We swap out.
Yeah, it's ready. It's time for map 1. Let's send it over to your casters. Show some love to two people who most definitely saw this finals coming. It's Brian and Sideshow.
Listen, I'm not ready to take credit for that. I don't think anybody saw this one coming as well, because listen, at the beginning of this tournament, and Champs has always proven, I think, that anything can happen. But you have two teams here that have had drastically different paths to the finals, drastically different goals as well. One team, EDG, on the side to try and dismiss some of the doubters that have plagued them after that Shanghai performance. And not only have they broken history, broken their own limits, but also potential chance to grasp that trophy, and the same could be said for Heretics.
We're getting a really unusual map to start this one off. The desk were hinting at it, but we've seen only losses for both of these teams on Haven here at Champs. Somebody's got to walk away with the win, and EDG picking it, thinking that they were at an advantage here to start.
Yeah.
Kangkang, of course, is the player to watch and will be for this whole grand finals, I think. And on the other side, that MVP candidate for Team Heretics, at least on this A defense, Rien's looking to hold it down and back up. That's a bad stun to begin.
Good though, open sight. Heretics going to be playing for that retake. Going to be sticking this. So extension of the round now. Through the next, still 5 versus 5, and shot darts flying through and past. Kangkang, the slightest of off angle.
They've got doubled up in hell here with Aftershock and Paranoia. This should be very, very difficult for Team Heretics to retake unless they go Heaven.
Done lands right at the feet as the Aftershock pulls out as well.
Still have Paranoia.
Yeah, and that U-tilt is going to be used to exchange hands once more. Paranoia in the face, Kangkang's body blocked. And EDG eviscerating. Fell into Heretics players. Where they stand. 4 survive for a pistol round win on EDG's table.
That's a huge pistol for EDG to take very early on. They've been winning 63% of their pistols in this tournament. That's an enormous number. Been consistent with it as well through groups, through playoffs. Their pistol round strategies have always come through, and you can see it here again. That double up, playing Simon and Smoggy in hell there, provided so much utility pressure to keep Billy Bull back. I think that's such a huge battle between these two teams. Which of their entry players can get the more value? And that's not always kills, that's also space creation.
It's been a trademark, I think, for Miniboo as well. If you're a stat Steven and you only look at it, you might think he's been having a bad tournament, but he does do the job, and his team trade him out when necessary. This is a heavy stack though, and a kill trip as well. They might be able to reap the rewards. And yes, indeed. EDG now aware of this, and they don't want anything to do with a stack.
The question, however, is whether they rotate, or whether they re-hit. There's nobody over towards the A side. Team Heretics are banking on the fact that it's going to be a hard rotate over towards A, trying to gamble with their full weaponry and classics to get into position. They've read the situation wrong. Nobody with a beautiful call. He's found the correct solution so many times in this tournament.
On my way.
For a player that's new to IGL and who's done some secondary calling in the past, it's remarkable.
It truly is. These best of fives, they can often feel like more of a marathon than a sprint. You've probably heard that line before.
Cage triggered.
EDG have a lot of experience in them. Still, nobody is new to that IGLing role. Mabu dismissed handedly. Out towards the back of the side. Should be another open shut case for EDG for this round against the Eco.
We're following along with Simon here. There's a supportive player if you've ever seen one. What an addition to this EDG squad. There's a fault line perfectly placed again. They always are when it comes to this guy.
Nice one.
It is astounding as well. A player like Simon as well has joined this team relatively late. First international event for him, you can say the same.
Nice one.
In terms of the finals for the rest of his team alongside him. So to navigate first 2 rounds here of Haven.
It truly is remarkable what EDG have done, though, because I feel like we've never seen a Chinese team set up like this before. When you think about Chinese teams that you expect to break through, you're thinking a super team where everybody is the absolute best in their region. Actually, what they've done is they've reduced their fragging a little bit by adding Simon into the team. He doesn't get the most kills. He's a silent, supportive player, but he's got 0.5 assists per round over the tournament, which is just a ludicrous number. Like, other top players are getting 0.3.
Yeah, supportive util, usually on point from this guy.
Shows you the identity shift that EDG have gone through, no longer trying to rely on that individualism to carry them through games. This is a team now.
Yeah, shot that actually misses, doesn't actually break the initial trip. Kangkang's going to think that that is free real estate, and instead just hands over his life. Open-handed there towards Benji Fishy with one plucked out of the picture. He might be looking for a few more. He's getting reinforcements. Fast re-clear. It's called out now by Heretics, using a drone to pave the way. Should be spotting this out. They're aware of the fact that it's onto the C site. It's all about how the battle begins, though, towards the back of the site. And Team Heretics have rifles in hand. That's a beautiful one.
Trading spectacular for Heretics. You see there another very textbook example. Miniboo goes in. Does he get the kill? No. But does he set up the rest of his team to get through the choke point and collect everything? Absolutely he does. Another interesting thing to note off the start there too. Benji Fishy not using a slightly more optimal trip, but that one would have been broken by the shot dart. So he goes for the one that just goes door frame to door frame, and nobody is assuming Benji's going to use the better one. That he tries out in this round actually.
Mind games occurring.
It's all about it.
Little micro differences. They can make the difference. Scenarios like this, best of fives, every single advantage counts. This is heavy A lobby control, but EDG are just waiting.
There.
Primed and ready to pounce. 5 alive outside of lobby. Drone is going to get that clean connection. Miniboo. No punish inside onto him. Still play for his life, but they are going to have to concede this space up eventually through random spray. And his Hunter's Fury acknowledgement acquired by Rians, but he just can't quite land it. Only the one shot connecting.
All of this, though, has denied EDG a lobby control. They're worried that people could be short, Miniboo could be pushed back up into position over towards long. Heretics were already reading that EDG would give up on this, and you're right. He's gone to break a similar trip again.
Still out to the open, barely a shoulder. It's enough for Kang to capitalize.
Bad positioning from Wu, big mistake.
Miniboo's going to see if they can shore this one up, straight through mid, up the gut, down and out, and contact is called. Chichu, none the wiser. Heretics bringing this to that 4 versus 4. Nobody. He's going wandering there, looking for an opening towards the A side, but call is now made. 27 seconds left. They want to go over towards C, and guess what? Reinforcements have arrived. Benji Fishy and Miniboo once more. An attempt to play spoiler. Paranoia sweeps through, no connections at all still. Kang delivers them 3 in a round so far. Not enough damage done for the plant down.
When Simon's stun isn't there, Kang's stuns are. And that was perfectly positioned over towards Logs. The timing could not have been better. And now they're splitting up, trying to catch timings on Riens and Boo.
Heretics always going to be doubled up here, prioritizing that discipline. The timing is missed. Shifts in the night. Kang spotted and cannot recover. Taken down out of the fight, Simon. Just rookie to the stage, just rookie to the team. To deliver a clutch as he's done so before. Fault line ready, sends it out preemptively. Boo is sticking, damage needs to be done, bullets need to be finding their targets, but Rian, the swing to find his mark. Simon dropped, it's a round cleaned up, and now we sit at 2-2.
EDG still going to be looking fairly decent with their economy though, so it's not disaster just yet. I think you can start to see that this is a grand finals game. There's a little bit of shakiness around here, and certain players stepping up. Big game players like Kang, certainly a name that I would put on the list.
Nice balls on B, bro. Really good. I like it.
Team Heretics have got so many different paces that they can go towards, and actually EDG are going to go for an eco here. They might have been able to scrape together a bit of a buy, especially with Kang having ult, but they've gone for the safer option.
Kang's going to offload it anyway. Looking for an electrifying end to the round, potentially a start too. The stun, it does connect, can't quite get it. The tracking was almost on point. Rians though, steady nerve and a steady hand, enough to save the day, but he can't stay alive much longer. Still, the flood is on and in charge. Commanding presence of Boo and Miniboo. Brothers in blood, they're looking to dish it out on this site. Players revealed and the swarm has arrived.
How has Rian's been able to shut down the entry there? That should be a kill every day of the week for Kang. Top of the scoreboard, not playing badly by any means, but just that single duel in that position. Wow. 6 health for Rians would have made all the difference here. It was an eco, but I think Team Heretics are proving that this version of their composition, when they go back to something a little more standard, it's looking way, way better than when they pulled out the gimmicky Sage comp earlier on against Sentinels.
An excellent point. The desk was kind of talking about discussing as we were heading into this. We've got time to discuss it. It's a timeout for EDG, feeling that pressure and heat, because I've been so impressed with EDG over the course of this tournament, paving the way with most of their wins. A lot of it coming from anti-strat, preparation. It's been a key component for them landing themselves into the finals here. But when a team throws you off, you think they're going to be playing one composition, they throw you for a loop as well, switching back to one of the older ones. It just throws your preparation out of the window, and it forces EDG now to adapt to the scenario at hand.
I did say at the start of this, it's a really strange map for us to beginning the grand finals, because it's a map that neither team have won so far at Champs. 2 losses for Heretics, 1 loss for, sorry, other way around, 2 losses for EDG, 1 loss for Heretics. But also, the map advantage that EDG have for being able to come through the upper bracket, they used it to get rid of a map that Heretics would have banned anyway, Ascent, and Icebox, which, you know, Heretics have looked pretty decent on, but to be honest, that's somewhat middling territory. Historically, the team that comes from the upper bracket with the map advantage isn't even favored. It's 4-4. 4 upper bracket teams, 4 lower bracket teams have lifted trophies in Valorant. So, considering that EDG didn't even manage to create too much of an advantage for themselves and make a good map pool here, it's so even today.
Yeah, even initially for sure. And here it is, straight through the smoke. That's disrespect shown by Rians. Taking a gander and a glance over towards lobby. They're not expecting that at all. Off angle is beautiful, but a flash and a peek and a swing on top of it. Miniboo seeks to supplement the fight once more.
He's everywhere.
Still keeps the lead for his team in terms of that player advantage. Woot, flash and a peek as well. He needs to get himself back through Link. Chichu thinks at least he thinks he's earned himself for timing. Kankan, what is that? Through the back though, Benji Fishy cleaning up any sort of blind spots that might have been occurring. Still a 2v3, there's chances for EDG.
But they're going to be running into Benji's utility here. Simon's got to break this. And even if he invests the ultimate, that'll probably just be to get the plant down.
See.
Is he going to be able to have this timing to pull it off in the post?
Yeah, it's not flood being called here by Heretics. They want to make sure that they hold it down. Collected into the retake now with a paranoia, but that's a big miss. The ult's going to be expended, and bullet to the dome, side of the head. Kang, too much to overcome. It's Wood who puts him to bed, puts him to rest. So now lead accruing here for Heretics.
The battle between Benji Fishy and Chichu, another one to pay attention to. Both of these teams are set up in somewhat familiar ways to each other. They have one super hard entry player that loves to make space, take the reins, try to get those opening kills. And then they have a Sentinel who's phenomenally gifted with aim, who tries to take openings and opportunities for them aggressively in the mid-round. Benji there shuts down Chichu, makes sure that that gap is firmly closed. And Team Heretics now, with 4 in a row, knock EDG onto another eco. This is not the beginning that this Chinese squad would have wanted in their first ever grand finals.
There, map pick 2. Things going to miss there. Seen cheeky plays like this with the smoke as well.
Love that one.
Just in case there was a dart heading in his direction.
And of course, that's the kind of thing you can bring out in the future if EDG don't go towards A long and don't figure out what you're up to.
Deploying drone. EDG are going to need to come up with some answers, and they're going to need it fast. There's rifle in the hands of Kang. Still holding down his angles with one-way Benji.
It's a nice spot for Benji as well, because Chichu loves going for those mid-round lurks through Garage once the trip has been broken.
Trap play inside as well. Woot. Hold on to that fault line. It's a stun ready for him. Presence over towards A. It's been faked out by EDG. Not quite fake, actually, just intending to pull players away. And Kang's hoping that there's rotators.
Look at Miniboo and Benji waiting for these lurks.
Flash anyway. They choose to take the time. He stuns himself in the process. War straight up. That's a Hunter's Fury. Hard committal still. He's potentially out of there. Still dropped down. 45 health, still alive and kicking. He's dancing around. Most of the util and still coming up with him. And Benji returns to the fire and through the flames. You're not coming out unscathed.
2v3, EDG are going to have to pull out something incredible here, and they've only got 15 seconds.
Time is just against them.
The ult?
Yeah, ult pivot over and away, but again, the timing is going to be brutal. Kang still collects the one. It's a 2v2, but still 4 seconds to go. He missed it! He missed the timing!
What's he doing?
Brutal! And Nerves! Frantic on stage, on display.
Why will you do that?
You've got to play to your outs in moments like that. You can't allow the perfect to be the enemy of the good. Sure, planning for backside there would not have been an amazing play, but you're pretty sure that they were all over towards the C site. You've got to go for it. I mean, Smoggy's got the timer at the top of his screen. He knows that he beefed that. He wasn't even close. He was about 0.2 seconds off.
Narrow margins indeed. It's 5-2, another buy round. EDG with guns of their own. They've got to start pulling it back sometime soon.
Again, you can tell that it's a grand finals match. You can tell that the pressure is weighing down on these players. And for some, it's forging them to greater depths. Look at Kankan, 10-5. He's been so clean with these shots. But everyone on EDG needs to be on the same page.
Got to see that synergy that we've seen all throughout the tournament here, but Heretics no slouches to themselves.
Looking to head back over towards A. And Miniboo and Boo have been locking this area down, somewhat similar to the way they defend on Sunset, trying to play each other in.
Boo knows the angles. Will use the TP though to get the hell out of there. Also some players up and over the shoulder. He's got backup arriving, and EDG 50 seconds into the round, but looking like they want to commit over towards A. It's going to be a clash. The util is going to need to be picture perfect again. Wall up and over, flash onto the side, stun is used in kind. It's Miniboo just letting one loose of his own as well, and still with 30 seconds to play with. They want to just take a scramble, mad dash to C.
They're going into the Rolling Thunder. This is where Woot is. This is where the trips are. Deep trip for info.
Yep, and that's already spotted, but you know, he's dropped in a moment's notice. 20 seconds. Here's the old Woot. He's getting ahead of all of this. Wants to take the peak and wants to take the fight. Hunter's Fury trying to bail them out. Slowed down to a crawl. Aftershock in their face. It's full util spam. Cacophony of all of it into the back of the site we go. Twists and turns. The tail's being weaved, but it's all on Heretics' side.
Again, EDG. The clock being the biggest enemy. Boo just stays alive on B. And it's a tragedy. 6 rounds in a row now that EDG have failed to capitalize on. And these last two, the kind of performances you should never be seeing from a team that's demonstrated such excellence here in Seoul. The calling got so scrambled there. I can respect this play from Jisoo and Kankan towards backside, trying to make room, trying to get the kills working. They haven't let out the breach ultimate.
Yeah. Getting messy and muddy. Like you said, evidence, I think. These players are playing on the biggest stage that they've ever stepped foot on. In all of their careers, there won't be higher stakes than this. Gets info, not actually broken. That's beautiful info. You know, at least 3 is there, and the fight is called. And the kill collected. There, and the fight. Info, not actually broken. That's beautiful info. You know, at least 3 is there, and the fight is called. And the kill collected. Kang just forced to watch from the spectator seat now.
And look at the defaulting, it's just not good enough from EDG. They're not breaking Benji's utility. He's locking down the whole of B and C on his own, allowing the rest of Heretics to stack A. EDG have no way through, and if they go back and try to break these trips, they're going to be too late. There's only 50 seconds left. This is looking like another round that will be so difficult for EDG to put on the board. Still walking most of the way. 40 seconds here.
I want
EDG to slow down by Woot.
2 more rounds.
Abundance of util. Trip one small, won't right close, and they will be breaking this one. TP, there's no cover. Woot's right there. For the punish, Chichu vacuuming up space, hoping the rotations are abound. Might be able to catch this timing, yes. Hit miss. Woot just trying to catch that sideline. Cage just dropped down, trying to get his team in 14 seconds. Again time, running away from them. Hourglass potentially try, nobody's going to stick this plan. And Miniboo cleans up the flank. Forward aggression showcased by Chichu. He knows he has to take risks. He knows the matters need to be taken into his own hands. Neuro theft reveals all. The dart is dealt with. But Heretics have players, they've got bodies, they've got util, and they've got guns. The aim on display. It's a masterclass of the cleanup.
I think EDG need another timeout here. You think about what we've seen so far in this arena. They had their chances for 2 champs trophies, and it slipped from all of their fingers. These opportunities, they do not come freely. They do not come often. You've got to grasp them when they present themselves. And right now, EDG, they've earned their way to the stage. but they are just letting it all fall away from them early on here.
Josh, those opportunities that you're talking about, there's no team that knows that better than Heretics right now on this stage. They made it to the finals of Shanghai. They couldn't convert it there. It was a trophy in touching distance, but they've learned from their mistakes. Despite the fact that you've got so many rookies on the team, I mean, listen, you couldn't even list out the amount of teams and challengers leagues that they were playing in heading into this year.
Yeah. And Minibu himself, who wasn't able to play in Shanghai, said it was heartbreaking watching his squad lose those finals, powerless to help, and now he's out here. And Heretics, they're the kind of team that can turn it around with the new comp, and the backing, the system works so well, and the coaching staff are so well prepared too. They can just bring out a fairly default competition like this and mirror match and beat you at your own game.
Absolutely. System is such a good word to use there as well. Encompasses Heretics so well as a team at the beginning of this year as well. All sorts of doubters, expecting them to be bottom feeders towards EMEA. They showed that they were potentially that flash in the pan at Madrid, but at every single step and twist and turn of this year, they showcase what they've got on the international stage, and now playing like they do not want to let the same fate meet them that was at Shanghai.
Heretics out of the TAC timeout are expecting something quick, pacey. See how much deeper the trips are from Benji.
Very far
Faking
back.
like there's A pressure.
Yeah. Similar game plan by EDG though.
Yeah, calling a bit of a pause into this one. They've taken some nice A long control. This is going to make Heretics a little less confident about their read coming out of the timeout. It wasn't quick and pacey, and now they've given up a lot of info and stability on the A site.
Rians is even hard committed over towards the side. I guess he does have the cam to help him out and get that information down towards short, so it's not in too much danger. EDG here are just trying to temper the pace a little bit. Hope that Heretics will fall into a trap of maybe trying to re-clear A for info.
And Heretics do enjoy re-clearing. They play heavy re-clear styles on Sunset, on Icebox that we're doing against Lev. Nothing seen with the drone.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to go for that A execute.
Perfect timing on the smoke though too from Boo. It's instinctive knowing that that could be the time to strike, and guess what, Rian's way ahead of him. Nobody picked off, and that's going to spell defeat. He knows that the hit's coming in. Sidestep, fault line not connecting there. And heads are being popped, rattled off the shoulders. Chichu is going to try and make a play. Makes his way over towards C, but again, 17 seconds left.
There's barely time for the spike to get there.
This keeps occurring. A mad dash and scramble towards the end of the game. At the end of the round, Chichu at least will push back Minibu. Caught by the trip. 6 seconds, caught by the trip. 4 seconds. You got to stick it, and the aftershock denies it. Will pay for it for his life, but at the end of the day, it's another round earned for Heretics.
I have never seen a game like this in all my time following Valorant. 3 huge rounds lost to the clock in a grand finals. Incredible intuition by Riens in this moment, by the way. Boo throws down that smoke, and Riens anticipating the timing they might be taking, finds not only a first pick, but enough damage onto Kung to slow him down, hesitate in his step. Finds the pick there too.
There.
Same setup. Rian's alone on an island, but will it make a difference to Recon? I mean, that just reveals all. If you see Kang, you know he's going to be the tip of the spear.
Think about what this does for the confidence of Heretics too.
Yeah.
If you were hoping that they were going to back off and start to respect some of this utility and allow Kang space on sites, the fact that you've just lost 8 rounds in a row, Heretics are going to be happy to swing into you, to step up, disrespect Util.
Exactly so. Drone tagging again. The heavy reveal. There's nothing obfuscating this from EDG. They're going to try and go in with brute force as the play. Dart up and over is dealt with. Broken inside the smoke, dominated by Rians. He wants to potentially take the timing, but the stun connects in. Bruder by Miniboo is there to meet him. Come knock into the side, but it's all too obvious.
Spike down.
And the reality is starting to settle in. Chichu now in a 1v4. It's an impossibility. Spikes in no man's
30
land.
seconds left.
Sad spot for him to be in. The rest of his team have not been defaulting and breaking the enemy Cypher Util. He's not been able to pull off these big lurks. When they have come, they've been too late, and his team's been losing to the clock. And now the rest of the team has to sit there silently, allowing him to try to go for the clutch and just wait and fester. It's tough to pull yourself out of a rut like this. The words can sometimes echo hollow, even as people try to pick each other up. Don't worry, guys, we're going to get back into this. Surely next round is the one. And you sit there hoping that you can force yourself to believe.
Tell yourself it's one round at a time.
It is a universe.
And it's desperation at this point. The first half of Haven has not gone the way that EDG were planning. Weaponry, thankfully, hasn't taken too much of a tumble. That's the loser's bonus to thank for that one, but the reads are immaculate again. Look at the setups by Heretics. A stack of players still over towards C. And EDG just desperate for this orb. Simon would be his ult online. There's no punish in sight from Heretics. They'll give him that.
They can play a little further back, actually. Rien's with the Hunter's Fury could go for plant denial. You can allow EDG to get sight a little bit as long as you control some important positions, like, for example, Garage. I would like to see Minibu tuck into that close spot and try to deny Jishu.
Thrown through, gets the tag. Although by Riens, he's expecting a few more from that, but that's just to provide some safety. It's a big ult though expended. Not going to be having this for the last round.
What is nobody calling here? Is this going to be a breach ult fake on A? Oh, it's going to be ruined.
Yeah, the Chichu cleaned up. Kang right from behind. Ult is expended. Did you say it's ruined? It has pulled the players back. They're believing it.
Minibu bought it hook, line, and sinker. As soon as Jishu made that play, I thought he was going to stick around on the C site and try to deal with things. He just thought that was the lurk.
It's daylight robbery. EDG need it. Every round they can get. Nefarious means or not. Here's the ult, Stoke. You hear that one. Spike a panic in the back of the mind. It's Kang who's the one with that ult in his hands. Nobody trying to hold that one down, and it's good. With the tracking again, weaving in and out. Sidestepping, dancing. It's graceful by Kang, still alive as well. Time is ticking. Boo! What is that? Return of the fire from the side. Heretics trying to barrel over them. Wu with so much more to do here, but I think it's too late. Time being that deciding, defining factor all around. And EDG at least granted that one blessing.
Finally, the clock turns onto the side of EDG and they get a plant down. They bookend the half with a couple of rounds and it smiles from Kang, but there's very little to smile about here at the beginning on Haven.
So far, Heretics, domination from them.
Boom!
EDG just need to not let their spirits be dampened. As we head into the next half, they're going to be mulling that one over, but for now, we're going to send it down to the floor for an interview with some special guests.
Hey, what's up, guys? Get your boasties on because we have Boaster and Cruz over here for the halftime interview. Now, Cruz, first of all, you were on the screen for the opening ceremony for 0.5 seconds. How was that experience for you? 보스터 선수와 크루즈 선수 만나보도록 할 텐데요. 아까 오프닝 세레머니 때 0.5초 동안 둘이 춤을 추는 모습이 화면에 잡혔거든요. 어떤 경험이었는지부터 물어볼게요.
긴장돼요.
He's nervous in Korean. Yeah? Good experience for you?
Very excited to be on the monitor, obviously, and I think I had a really good time with the show.
큰 무대에 나올 수 있어서 너무너무 긴장됐지만 그래도 좋은 경험이었다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그리고 보스터 선수 사실 저기 있는 선수들이랑 모두 다 절친이잖아요. 그렇기 때문에 좀 두 선수들에게 어떤 얘기를 하고 싶은지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You're like best friends with all 10 players on the stage. What would you like to tell them right now?
Yeah, I mean, I love all of these boys on the stage. Benji Fishy works so hard. He's such a nice kid. Kong and Nobody. I'm super close with them, so unfortunately today I am... EDG 자요!
다 친하고 벤지 피시 선수 너무 열심히 하고 뭐 좋은 선수이기는 하지만 그래도 카칸 선수 그리고 노바디 선수와 너무너무 좋은 친구이기 때문에 오늘 EDG 짜요라고 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면 마지막으로 팬분들께 한마디 부탁드리도록 할게요. Any last message to the fans?
Thank you very much for watching us. I mean, VALORANT, and hope to see you next year.
응원 감사드리고요. 그리고 또 내년에 다시 만나자고 얘기를 한대요. 보스터 선수도 한마디 들어볼게요. 보스터?
응원 감사합니다. 다음 시즌에 더 만나요.
Thank you, Boaster and Cruz, and let's dance our way back into the second half. Dun, 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 dun.
betrayal, the heartbreak, the drama. Boaster against the MEA.
Where can we take Boaster to where he won't know how to speak to the crowd in their local
I mean, he's a natural showman. He really is.
I know. We'll have to go all around the world seeing where those skills can take it.
Yeah.
EDG have had a little bit of breathing room here. They've had another opportunity to speak to their coaching staff, though they've had many already.
Yeah.
Looking to try to turn things around on their defense side. So far, Heretics have been dominant, utterly.
EDG just trying to get the read. Defensive setup, heavy stack over towards B. Heretics early take over towards A long. No pushback.
One of EDG's massive strengths has been their pistol rounds over the course of this tournament. They, of course, won the first to open things up. They need another.
EDG might have had the read here. Moving over. Reinforcements arriving with Kang and Simon. Util held. Nobody might miss that timing, though, still. Heretics set up for the A split, and the Util is connecting. Listen, the spades of it. More where that came from. No clean kills really to be found here. And it's EDG, they're gonna barrel their way through, they just can't do it. In pieces, onto the ground. Pistol round cleaned up if I've ever seen one. The 2v5, it's just gotta be heroics and a miracle, I think, on the side of EDG.
Looks like Benji's on the flank, seeing if Smoggy's gone for a teleport play past his trip, because they're just startled at how slow Smoggy and Chishuata begin this retake.
Yeah.
It's a 2v5. More dominance for Heretics.
As I said, I mean, Util in spades. They're going to just cut them out of the picture here. Peeking, as soon as there's contact, recognition that the players are falling and dropping. And speaking of dropping, it's Benji with 4 bodies. Dropped in the round, a pistol round again under the belt of Heretics. This is, again, there's no other word to describe it other than dominance. They've come to this tournament with expectations that they might reach the same heights like they did in Shanghai, but clearly taking those learning moments from it.
Benji, you're the GOAT, bro.
It was a phenomenal pistol round from him. The first fault line, though, from Wook, caught onto 2 players. Miniboo went for the stun towards default, caught himself with it, actually, and they still had the presence of mind to slow things down. I think Team Heretics, too, on their attack sides, generally going to be a bit better than EDG at going around and meticulously pruning away that defense.
Making sure that there's a series of unknowns across the map, forcing the defenders to get active.
Benji could get caught here, but he's only got the pistol.
Yeah, that's why he's going exploring. No real danger of him losing and handing over a gun. And guess what? In the rifle aim, well, not even that, man, just raw aim. It's on point right now for Benji.
One of the few times that Simon's fault line's pretty bad. Chishu does respond with 1. Woo falling, but Phantom, Guardian, Spectre on the other side. Kankan would have to land some almighty martial shots to make this one winnable.
Only 1 player weak enough as well for 1 to the body. It's gonna have to be mostly headshots defining this round if Kang is to do it. And like I said, Miniboo survives. Single digits of health. Chichu will be no long for this world. 12 HP and a dream, and it will remain just that. It's 11 rounds here for Heretics. They're locked in.
Every team in the history of Valorant that's made back-to-back finals won at least one of them, the first or the second. EG last year had a somewhat similar arc to Heretics. We talked about that being a Cinderella story, something you might never see again. And the comparisons are not exactly one-to-one, but a team full of very inexperienced players who weren't rated incredibly highly by the community, that ran into the most dominant team of the year at the second event and come back and are looking amazing here to begin.
Similar parallels, but as an opener, EDG sorely needed.
4-player fight from EDG as well, committing massive resources to locking down A lobby. This is kind of similar to how Team Heretics were defending.
Yeah.
Except they were often leaving the Neon to fight over this area rather than the Sova.
A bit of a handshake with the drones there, just trying to get that information. Smoggy on the line, that is nice.
He hit 2 body shots onto Rienz.
Definitely did. Right there. Was claiming these kills. Benji, though, taking up some space, spotting that there's gaps in the play. The defensive protocols of EDG still. Raw aim on display. Benji might be getting away with murder still.
I have retrieved the spike.
He'd have to ace to finish up this round and just not anticipating it. Kanking already up onto the line.
A big round for EDG just to showcase that they won't be completely pushed around and bullied. But that's still only their second round that they've won with rifles on board. Opening kill was clean from KHULA. Need to start seeing Smoggy get online. When we get to Lotus later on, third map, I am sure you will see Smoggy absolutely farming. He's amazing there. But on the Omen maps, it does sometimes take him a while to get warmed up.
It's rough so far for him.
This Neon Wall just a denial in case somebody like KHULA had taken the walk down mid.
I mean, Chichu's playing in front of this anyway, but... Oh, it's finally broken. That's 2 shots committed, though.
Yeah, but tons of damage onto Chishu as well. Love that trip. That trip is so good for B post-plant situations. You get the plant down here and the retake tries to come through that, it's very tough. It's also good for info in the mid-round, because you know that people haven't re-cleared through mid and pushed into window, for example. See how Team Heretics defaulting, just taking parts of the map, making it a bit more difficult for EDG to play. Yeah. However, the Chinese squad does still control A lobby, and that's what Rians is looking to try to deny right now.
Paranoia held in the hands of Smoggy. He's going to have to follow up on this himself. Glides forwards, pulls out a dash. Evacuation by Minivu, still alive here with 35 seconds.
This is looking risky now because EDG did not bite on that pressure over towards A. Chishu's been holding this down since the start of the round in Garage.
Oh, he's going to be tested. Tested and potentially rewarded. Could be the difference. Flash evaded. Fires off the shots though, and now they know exactly where he is. At least they should! But they don't! Unanticipated, and Heretics paid a price in blood. 11 seconds left. Shot to pieces before they can even get into the site.
There's a round for EDG to try to stabilize, to try to find that belief. And there you're seeing Simon as well, with a rare smile, lit up.
Spike down mid.
It's so important that these EDG players genuinely believe that they can win today. KHULA said it, they've already accomplished an unimaginable goal at Champions. But you have to still have that hunger to go further beyond.
Let's go!
And you see him pumping up Simon in that moment. So important.
Keep the morale in check. Understand that it's one round at a time. It's what makes the best. The best. Elites on the stage if you have that composure. It will be a hard run back. Stun. Connects. Barely a hand pointed out. Chichu. Have to get out of there.
If you look at the way that EDG play this map against any opponent, they love re-clearing Garage. Fault line, Chishu runs forward. Could be a spot that Team Heretics try to exploit, but at the moment it's working really nicely for EDG. Yeah. And if you control A lobby or long plus Garage, you basically got the whole map.
Now broken before the reveal. Still just Sheriffs and a Stinger in the hands of these Heretics players, but when it's up to 11, you never know when the next round's going to come. There it is, wall up, Paranoia alongside it. The util is always going to be good and impeccable. Heretics hitting their shots, nailing them down. And Kang is forced to respond, coming up with all sorts of damage and goods. Players are toppled.
That would have been a kill there. Woot, he's got about the worst weaponry for the job, but KHULA is playing with so much danger.
15 HP. One shot from Woot will do it. 13 seconds though, and now Woot's got to get that move on, picks up the upgrade. They know exactly where he is. Simon puts him out of misery. And EDG, they stay alive in the map.
Timeout call for Team Heretics. What a role that KHULA now finds himself in, by the way. If you think back to when he first started in VALORANT, he was just a young boy with a dream. Yeah. And now he's in a position where he's almost like the experienced leadership figure for Simon, who is sat right next to. The two are working in tandem so often in rounds. The support and the fragging. And you can see the energy that he has and how infectious it is spreading through the rest of the team. Heretics need to control this one before it slips away. This is now 3 in a row to turn the game from 11-3, which looks utterly unwinnable for EDG, to 11-6, where you're starting to think, okay, they might have a chance here.
Boulder hasn't budged really down the mountain yet. EDG is still going to attempt to push it up. 11-6 here, and like you said, they're still, you know, at the back of their minds, they're thinking, oh, okay, are we losing track and slip of the map, at least? I was going to say the series not quite there yet, still.
I think one of the things that you've got to notice, right, when you're Team Heretics in this position, is that Simon is often drifting over towards C. We're actually going to watch him set up for this big 4-player crunch towards A lobby. But if he is towards C, you should be able to take A long control a little easier at the start of these rounds. Now, if that was their read, EDG are already ahead of it.
I mean, it's a crazy mix-up. 4 players willing to fight this one, and I wonder if it's going to be a delay take. I've seen teams do this. Their show presence with the Sova. Just a feign like it's only the one holding.
Yep.
And this is going to be bloody. A skirmish laying in way, dashing forward, stunned up on either side. Kang controlling the rifle, controlling the spray still. It's all Heretics, baby. Up in the feed in a 2v1. They've paved their way towards the A side. Chichu seeking to get himself in there, trying to play ahead of the timings, but he can't dodge the paranoia. And it settles into the back of his mind. He hears the footsteps. Defense is necessary. Boo! My God, wasn't even being defended in the moment.
What a shutdown. What awareness from Boo. I was not anticipating them to expect Shishu that early. He got to the site on a really fast timing. Look at how daft this fight is in A lobby. Everybody stunned up, trying to control their crosshair. But Heretics now, after winning that round, with Wu trading beautifully, they're up to 12.
Just one more stepping stone, all that stands between them and the map.
For the first time, EDG go for the walk down mid, and Team Heretics, they're having none of it.
No.
Full ult, baby, send them to A.
Yep, and that's going to be clearing out most of the site. Boo sticks it down into hell. I know that A is easy access, so just a little bit of worry in the back of their minds about A short, still with that smoke that's propped up, and it's buying time and space potentially, but they're hearing these footsteps. Kang dodging, weaving, ducking from the bullets. Simon with a cage, not even in his face there. It's offloaded, ults rattled back. The rolling thunder seeking to deny and delay some space. It's up to these players on the flank of EDG to see if they can do something. Kang's been left alone to his own devices. Tap of the rifle, beautiful, lands it still. Here's the cleanup crew arriving in kind. Down from the side, wall up, Hunter's Fury, there is no escape. For the rest of his team, time has been bought out. Punches, a mad dash and scramble. But an electrifying finish here to Haven. Heretics taking map number 1.
Massively deserved, dominant opening, stealing away EDG's first pick. Up next, Sunset, where Heretics have been phenomenal this year. Their home territory. What a knock. Were EDG expecting this comp? Were they expecting this ferocity? Have they adjusted to the stage?
We're going to be finding that out and more. This best of 5 is only just getting started. Do not go anywhere. You're watching the grand finals.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
with me on stage. Congratulations on that first map. In prepping for a team like EDG, which you have faced off before, what tendencies or qualities of the team did you pay special attention to?
I mean, they're like most teams here. They've got really aggressive duelists. Kang is no different. The way they set him up is quite unique. Like, they send him in pretty heavy by himself, so we know if we can isolate him, we can kind of pick him off and kill him. So that was kind of the plan for Haven.
Well, we know how you guys feel about Sunset, which is coming up next, but how are you feeling about the map draft overall?
Yeah, the map draft was good. You know, they permaban Ascent, which, you know, we'll play it, but the fact that we don't have to play it is nice. And yeah, the rest of the maps are good for us, so as long as we keep playing our game, I think it's looking good.
All right, well, thank you very much, and best of luck out there.
It's a fantastic start for Team Heretics, and I'm back on the desk here. We are joined by Steel, we're joined by Mimi, and we have a very, very special guest all the way from Sentinels. It is Zelsis, the Vibe merchant even himself. I wanted to ask you, you rocked up with a Sen jersey. Why is that?